welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition here of the PiGosaur Cup, PiGosaur Cup number 47, your weekly dose of open bracket StarCraft. Bienvenidos, Papi, bienvenidos. I'm of course your VIP with you, enjoyed by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome one and all. I did decide to go live before the timer just because I guess we have a bit of an update, or just letting you know why we have some delayed starts here. So the bracket is live. The bracket is live. The bracket has been live for like a good 10 minutes, but we are waiting for some players. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. We can switch things over and catch up, and I can explain as to what's going on. Here we go. So first things first, we have the first round. We have the round of 16 that is ongoing, that just did begin, and we have some results coming in, and there are certain matchups that I was looking forward to that have not begun yet because we are missing players. First things first. We have MaxPax versus Sophisticates. I believe that is ongoing. So MaxPax's series is currently ongoing. Then we have Mute versus Patches. That has not begun. Patches is MIA. So Patches is missing in the round 16. Next we have Solar versus Pretty Fly. Solar also MIA. Solo is also missing. Scrolling down, Creator versus Triple. Triple also missing. Also missing as well. Then we have herO versus Raphael. That is starting. That is ongoing. Then we have Nice versus Bolmiaja. Nice also missing. So that also has not begun. Meanwhile, ByuN versus Ragnar. That has started. So we have a couple of matches starting. We have a good 50% that have not. So there's a lot of matches that just haven't begun because players are MIA. Again, we're missing Patches, missing Solar, missing Triple, missing Nice as well. So there's a lot of players that are missing, unfortunately. So because of that, a lot of these initial matches haven't begun. That's why the title says Creator versus Triple. I don't think we're going to cover that series. Unfortunately, because the walkover period is about to clock over, I should say. So we're about to get a bunch of walkover results. We're about to get a bunch of updates on the bracket. Meanwhile, it looks like we do have one of our players, thankfully. Patches just arrived. That's 18 minutes late, but hey, he got here. He got here, Pappy. He got here. But Patches, he just arrived. So Patches versus Mute is about to begin. That leads into MaxPax. Where do we want to go here? That's the big question. I think ByuN versus Ragnar, they're still ongoing as well. But if the walkovers go through, that means we'll most likely get herO versus Bolmiaja. We'll most likely get Creator versus Pretty Fly in the next round. Then, of course, Mute and Patches are about to begin. I think I'm probably going to wait for ByuN and Ragnar to wrap up and then jump into their match. I think that might just be the plan. Like, jump into potentially ByuN versus Percival. I think that might be the go-to. Like, I was looking forward to potentially casting Creator versus Solar, but Solar isn't here. so there's gonna be a walkover there. ByuN versus Ragnar rematch. True rematch from last night. With the Patreon, yes, we got a lot of support on Patreon over the past like 3 days. Like in recent days, we got a lot of support on Patreon. So thank you so much to all the new supporters on Patreon. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Are they all AFK? Yeah, it is unfortunate that a lot of players are missing. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But also, good night, Soldier. Good night. Buenas noches. Shout out to all those in the chat as well. I see Psycons. I saw Baby Links as well. Fried Fish. Bienvenidos. Slowjo, of course, who's going to bench. That's Slowjo. But as you can see, the walkovers are being marked. So we have Bolmiaja over Nice. We have Creator over Triple. And we have Pretty Fly over Solar. I say that they just marked Solar over Pretty Fly, but it should be the other way around. So I'm looking at MaxPax. there we go, just fixed. So we have Pretty Fire versus Creator, we have herO versus ByuN, and we have potentially ByuN versus Percival. So we're probably going to jump on, out of the available matches, I guess herO versus ByuN, we'll jump into our PvP. I guess we'll jump into it. That'd be the plan. Otherwise, I would jump into ByuN versus Percival, but I think he's still mid-series. Still mid-series. Mine is Eric. Yes, yes. My idol. Oh. We're jumping in. Okay, we are going to be jumping in. Into the quarterfinals. Alright, so we have our series. We have our first series here. We're jumping into ByuN versus herO. Jumping. Oh, let's go. And herO, he's gonna be off racing. Okay, okay. So herO, he is playing Terran. He's gonna be hoping his Terran for his first match. For his second series, I suppose. Let's go. I'm ready for the TVP. How are the rabbits? The rabbits are very cute. They're very I just fed them just before the cast. Just fed them. Very cute. They've been with us for like a couple of weeks at this point. I haven't gotten to the point where I've like held them or anything like that. Taking it slow, with the bunnies. The bunnies. Again, I've posted a couple of videos on our Discord if you want to check it out. There's a couple of videos on our Discord. We have our animals channel, but here we go. We're jumping in our first series of the broadcast and spawning in the right-hand corner of Tokamak. We have the American Protoss player. We have the orange Protoss. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, the red Terran himself, from South Korea. It is herO. So I wonder if this is because Clan PvP'd herO yesterday. No. If you've been watching herO over the past couple of months, herO in the early rounds against, in a nice way, against some lesser opponents, he does off race. Like, he does play Terran. So we have casted herO playing Terran quite a bit over the past couple of months, if not past year. Yeah, here he does play Terran. His Terran's pretty good. His Terran is GM. It's around 6k, like around 6k MMR is his Terran. Well, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid. But yeah, here he doesn't play Terran against like other like pro tier players or like other top tier players. But in the early rounds, if you can get away with it, he plays Terran. It's similar to Estrella. If you've been watching Estrella again for a long time, he also does the same thing, where he also plays Terran in the early rounds. He also off races. I think infamously, there was one ESL Americas where I think Pig beat Estrella. I think he knocked him out of the tournaments, and that was, I'm pretty sure Estrella was off racing. Like Pig, he goaded him into off racing, and then Pig knocked him out. It's like, let's go. Este chanchito. Who are some of the others? Maru, he also has played Protoss as off race before. Fun fact, Maru's actually beaten Percival with his Protoss. That did happen. Smurge, Backy Smurge. I think that was last year though. Before Percival's first retirement. For now, we are going to be selling in. We do have initial openers. We have a take of choice from ByuN going into a Twilight Council. Meanwhile, herO back at home going into his own 1-1. Sorry, I almost said 1-1-1. That is a second Rax on the way, and we throw down a third Rax, yep, 2-base all in. So we're setting up for a 2-base all in, hyper aggression out of herO. Essentially, we're going to be delaying the starport, delaying the third CC in favor of a very early stim, combat shields, all of these Raxes. This can hit with an eBay with +1 as well, and you can pull the boys with this timing alongside this. So this is going to hit quite hard. We should be building up the tanks alongside this as well, and we can push with around 3 tanks. Oh boy. So the first tank is on the way. So again, hyper aggression out of herO. It's going to be on ByuN to scout, to recognize what's going on, and to figure out what exactly herO is up to. Is that why Percival's mindset got crushed on? Yes, Maru was the tipping point. Ah, no. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But yeah, the VODs are on YouTube. We casted all of that. I believe that was during an ESL Open Cup Asia. I think it was during an Asia, and it was, yeah, last year, like early last year-ish. I say last year. It might have been 2023, actually. Jesus. One of the two. Here we go. Here we go. As so far, ByuN, he has yet to confirm what's going on. No sentries, no hallucination. So again, late scouting out of ByuN. This is scary. This is dangerous. Here comes the initial move out. Actually, my apologies. I thought this was going to hit with stim. This is hitting with combat shields. Dolan, is that you? Okay. So we have an earlier push. No medevacs, of course. There was never going to be medevacs, but this is hitting pre-stim with combat shields instead. The army gets spotted. Army is spotted. ByuN just trying to engage ahead of time. Oh. Siege. Catching out the observer. Yeah, I'll say ByuN. Here is still rallying, going for the ByuN move out. Up. Cyclone. Cyclone gets sniped. Nice pick off out of ByuN. Nice pick off. Here slowly gaining ground. Oh, dives on the tank. One tank does go down. Ooh, for the cost of 2 stalkers. A couple of stalkers that get picked off. Here, he's still rallying. Behind this, we have 3 more Raxes on the way. Jesus. Getting up to a 6-rack setup. He's leapfrogging forward. I mean, losing that first tank does slow him down quite heavily here. As well, just being given more time. Shield batteries, immortals, charges almost done. Without charge ults, it's going to be a tough hold, though, for ByuN. Yeah, he's locked out of his third. Third base is under fire. There's a recall. Does recall to save his third, okay. Holding onto it. Stim is outdone. So is charge. There's not that many Marines here. We could potentially dive on this location. He's going for it. Let's go. Diving on the tanks. Tanks are going to go down. Nice PiGosaur. He should get at least one. He should get the other as well. Yeah, second tank goes down. The final tank as well. And ByuN, he holds. Whew. He is holding on. He shuts us down. And he will save the expansion. And herO, he's falling behind here. He's falling behind. He was very dedicated to this. And he doesn't kill the base. Doesn't kill the third. Doesn't kill the expansion here. He has to back off. And remember, behind this, he doesn't have a CC. He has another Rax on the way. I believe that's 7. Yeah, 7th Rax in production, so 2 base all in out of herO. He is not expanding, he's not taking up. And the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for ByuN. ByuN, he just has to buy some time. So buy time for what? For Colossus. The bay is on the way, Forge is on the way, upgrades on the horizon. I will say that this bay feels late. Like, it's late tech, late upgrades here, so ByuN, he has a ways to go. I do think that he was a little bit scared of the all-in. Oh, the boys are being pulled, and you can see ByuN, he's banking resources. He has 1,000 gas. Ay, ay, ay. How many gateways are we on? Wait, what? Only 4 gates. We have more shield batteries on the way. ByuN, we gotta spend our money. We gotta spend it. So he's moving in. Yeah, this all or nothing for herO. And he can still pull this off. There's only 4 stalkers. Tanks are sieging, the army stims in. Yeah, brutal tank shots. So Zelte cannot get on top of the tanks this time. The Immortals do, though. Yeah, very nice target flank. He gets one, he gets both tanks. Gets both tank. The Immortals, can they survive? With the help of the shield batteries, they are. The shield batteries. They're putting in so much work with the Immortals. The shield batteries are out. The shield batteries are out of energy. But the Immortals, they barely survive. And ByuN, he holds. He does hold, he does defend. Tank flow is going off. herO, he's still rallying in. He's still rallying. But he's running out of tanks. He's running out of Marines, more importantly. He's making 10 Marines at a time. As he will lose both tanks. Once again, nice pick ups out of ByuN. Once again, the Bio Army does not get into the mineral line. ByuN, he maintains his economy. But ByuN, he's banking so much. Finally, we have more gates on the way. We gotta spend our money. We gotta warp in. This is the one thing keeping ByuN back is his production. He needs to spend it. You can do it, Pappy. You can do it. So we desperately need to get those warp-ins going. As we only have 3 zealots, they're gonna go down. The immortals are exposed. Here he's gonna get them. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 mortal kills. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the gateways, they were too late. They were too late. And you can see ByuN, he has 1,000 minerals, 2,000 gas, but he just doesn't have the warp-ins available. Not like this. He was so close to holding. He should have held, to be fair. And the shield are helping out, but yeah, it looks like hero's done it. He's broken the back of ByuN. Takes down the zealots, depower some of the gateways, gets to some of the rovers. Boys are being pulled. They're being pulled away. And this also means no Colossus. So we had the Bay, we never made a Colossus. You got close, baby, close. Gasito. With that, Natural's been broken, pushing towards the third base. Here he scans, checking for other expansions. There's nothing else. There's nothing there. And GG gets pulled. herO, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. GG, well played. herO does take a lead. Again, ByuN, he was so close to defending, so close to holding there. Unfortunately, it does look like he was panicking a little bit when it came to defense. I don't blame him just because there was a lot of pressure being applied. There was a lot knocking down his front door. But unfortunately, his macro did slip. His macro fell by the wayside. Specifically, I'm referring to his production. Throwing down his production buildings, getting ready for a 3-base economy. He was just late to do so. So despite having all this money, he couldn't spend his money. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO does take a lead, and with that, we're getting to game number 2. Here we go. So we're jumping into game 2, and we'll see if herO can claim the series. We'll see if ByuN can bounce back. We are jumping to game 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone. We have the orange Protoss player. With the orange Protoss, we have the American Protoss down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. I believe, Pappy, I believe it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran. It is herO. Go. Going to be opening up. And again, here he had a very interesting 2-base all-in. It was definitely an odd one, rushing into combat shields first. It reminded me a little bit of Dolan's all-in, but Dolan does whip it out a little bit differently. He does execute a little bit differently when it comes to pulling the boys and hitting with combat shields, especially on smaller maps. So it's an interesting style out of herO. We'll see how he does approach game number 2. Meanwhile, a big shout to PiGosaur in the chat. God, amiga, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 10 gifted subs to the community. Oh my god, thank you so much for the support. Always do appreciate it. And for those who are unaware, a big shout to Stegosaurus, because without Stegosaurus, this event wouldn't be possible. Again, the tournament might be called PiGosaur. You might be thinking, why is Pig a dinosaur here? It's because of Stegosaurus. Before PiGosaur, there was the Orsosaurus Cup. There was just a straight up Stegosaurus Cup, well, Stegosaurus Mondays. Again, Stegosaurus, Proto-Stegosaurus even, has devoted a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of resources into this tournament. And without him, this event wouldn't be possible, wouldn't be a thing. It just wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here. So much love to Stegosaurus. Much love. Este Stegosaurus. This here. Yes, I do apologize. I think I missed last week. I did miss last week. I was just so fatigued. I couldn't. So do apologize for missing out on last week's PiGosaur Cup. But we're here this time. We're here this week. We're here. Much love. Much love. As Reaper does get across the map. We once again have a Twilight Council opener out of ByuN. Oh. And ByuN, he will not quite get the surround. Oh, big investment there from our Protoss player. Doesn't quite get the Reaper. Oh, the probe. Let's go. The probe has 1 kill on it. The herO probe snipes the Reaper. With that, ByuN, he defends, Blink is on the way, and across the map we have a 1-1-1. This is a different build. Remember, what did we have last game? Last game we did have a 3-rack setup before the starport. Actually, we never got a starport, if you recall, just mass raxes alongside tank production with the all-in. Here, herO is going for a 1-1-1 with a more tech-heavy start with double gases. This can lead into Banshee play, it can lead into Raven play. We'll see where herO takes us, as the Adept does shade in. Shade in. Gets an SCV. Does get a full scout of the opener. And herO is opening up with drop play. Okay. Medivacs on the way. Before the tech lab. How dare you. Happy you can take a break. Happy you're back. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, yes, we are back. It's a very busy week of StarCraft this week. Very busy. We're good to embrace all of it. Good to go. As we have 2 more gates on the way, so we have a 3-gate setup here from ByuN, so 3-gate Blink, going for a standard opener. Likewise, we have herO going for the drop on the left-hand side. At the same time, we have double Cyclone on the right. We'll see if herO can create an opening. We'll see if we can distract ByuN. So far, it does pull away his attention. Drop into the main base. ByuN does react in time. Late reaction. Probes are going to go down. Let's see. Back away to the main base. Cyclones try to poke in. 3 marine kills. Sorry, 3 probe kills, I should say. And the marines do get away. So nice damage here by herO. Behind this, we do have our follow-up. Raven, not Banshee. Going into Raven harass. Building up his bio. Getting into a more standard setup. And this is more what we're used to when it comes to herO. Like, typically, I mean, we have seen him be very mid-game oriented when he plays Terran against Protoss. We'll see if he does end up expanding or if he does throw down more maxes. So now just going for the add-on swap, getting just Stim and combat shields. He's done with tank production, so only 2 tanks. Just 2 tanks to ByuN. The game is going to slow down. This also means that ByuN is going to be a little bit more comfortable. It means that he can expand, get a 3rd base, get into charge, +1, forge of course, and then start working towards splash damage. He never really got there in game 1 because of the intensity of the game and because of herO's all-in. So coming into game 2, ByuN should be a little bit more comfortable. Should be. So show us what you got. ByuN pokes in. As he moves out to scout. Interesting. As he snipes a cyclone. We are going to be expanding. There it is. Third base on location. And we should soon be seeing that splash damage from ByuN. Oh, dust spot it. Nicely done. Dust spot the drop. Will zone away. As ByuN, no, he gets surrounded. Yeah, he gets caught out. So just blinked, and he will lose every single stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Alas, he saw the Metamax, and he assumed that he was just going across the map. That's why there were stalkers back at home ready. But no, he gets caught out, and ByuN, he is in danger here. And unfortunately, back at home, currently there is no splash damage. He was late to take up, whether it was Storm, whether it was Colossus. There is nothing back at home, and herO, he's going to snowball out of control. Snowballing out of control, he's pushing in. There's not much to stop him. Again, ByuN lost map control. Nothing to keep herO back. And he's stimming it. From here, he's stimming on forward. Nice caddying against the Zealots. Zones away the Stalkers. And ByuN cannot hold his own. Not like this. Oof. Ah, does blink on top of the tanks. Let's go. He might get one. Oh, barely not. Tank does survive. And everything just went south real fast and real quick for ByuN. Ay, ay, ay. herO back at home getting a 4th CC. Getting into a greater economy. And this has just been cleaner play out of herO compared to Game 1. Game 1 was very messy. Was very messy when it came to the execution of the all-in. But here, with a more standard game, herO is much more comfortable. GG gets called, and herO takes the series at 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played herO. He will advance on to the semi-finals, where he's going to be waiting for his next opponent. Question becomes, who will he play against? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. Exclamation mark. Be in the chat if you guys want to have a look at it yourselves. Quickly though, shout out to ByuN. He did have a good showing in Game 1. I can definitely see a world where he wins Game 1, and we have a back and forth, and we go all the way to the ace match. Again, herO was looking a little more comfortable in Game 2. I do believe that a big reason for that is it almost looked like herO was freestyling in Game 1. Like herO, he didn't really know how to gauge ByuN's skills, so he kind of like threw whatever he could at the wall, and it did kind of work, but again, it was very messy. A very messy Game 1. Very messy. And here coming into Game 2, we saw herO just, you know, iron things out and go for a much more standard, solid build. Not going for an all-in, but building up in towards the mid-game, getting his third base up and running, and was able to catch ByuN out. And then GG. Then GG, well played, but let's catch up on the rest of the bracket. Here we go. Let us catch up as we have plenty of updates here. From the top, we have Mute. Mute takes down at patches 2-0. We have MaxPax versus Mute ongoing in the quarterfinals. Winner goes up against Creator in the semis. Meanwhile, we have herO. herO takes down ByuN 2-0, and herO is waiting for the winner of ByuN and Percival, as they're currently mid-series, as they're currently mid-match. So we have a little bit of downtime here. We're going to be waiting for ByuN and Percival to open up. Then the winner goes up against herO. I believe Steadfast is covering that series. So let's see here. Are they in Game 1? They're in Game 2. Okay, so oh god. It looks like we might get a result. We just did. Okay. GG, well played. ByuN just took down Percival 2-0. So up next, we have a next series. It's going to be ByuN versus. It's going to be ByuN versus herO in the semis. Here we go. Why aren't you streaming on TikTok tonight? Unfortunately, for the past couple of days, we aren't allowed to stream on TikTok. Yeah, I didn't bring it up until previously. For those who don't know, we stream on 5 different platforms. We stream on, typically we stream on Twitch, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Kick, and on TikTok. So five platforms. But as of like 2 days ago, we like, I guess, lost access to streaming on TikTok. Like TikTok, they're like, yeah, no, you can't stream. It's like, ah. So because of that, we haven't been streaming on TikTok for the past couple of days. Again, for the past, like, I think it's like 3 days, we haven't been streaming on TikTok, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. See what happens. TikTok is a little bit different. They have a bunch of prerequisites. Typically they require like a minimum amount of followers, a minimum amount of like yeah, followers basically, to be able to stream on TikTok. Like that is that requirement. And we were good. We were good, but apparently now not. I don't know. I reached out to TikTok support about it. I was like, yo, what's going on? And yet to hear about it. Yet to hear back. Yet to hear back. Region locked? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there are any unique Australian restrictions for TikTok. But yeah. So unfortunately, for the past couple of days, we have not been streaming on TikTok. Unfortunately. Already semis? Yeah. Fast tournament today. Fast tournament today. Again, partially just because of the walkovers in the first round. Okay. Vetoes are done, and we are jumping in. But here we go. We are jumping into our fresh series, our fresh best of 5, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing himself, currently seamless. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. The red Terran, we have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Go. As we're opening up with the... Okay, let's go. As ByuN does send out his SCVs, if you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as it is Gamba time. But here we go. We send out 2 SCVs going Chirax Reaper. Meanwhile, we have herO also going for the proxy gateway. Great minds think alike. We have a proxy versus a proxy. Now, bearing in mind that ByuN will hit first. ByuN, he will strike first. herO, he's waiting for the pylon, then getting to his own gateway. But at the same time, because of how the production is set up, ByuN won't have anything at home to defend. That's also a factor as well. Remember, herO has 1 gate at home and 1 gateway across the map. So herO, he will have some units to defend back at home, but it's only going to be a Zealot. Remember, the Cybercore is just now on the way. Reapers have free reign. It's going to get chaotic. Ah, no. I do lean towards ByuN here, just because these Reapers have a lot more potential early on. We'll see how many probe kills. Meanwhile, a big shout to Pekaweta in the chat. God, baby God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 9 months. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. As the Reapers are going to be moving in. Gateway is now done. Cybercore is complete. And can herO hold on? So a nice initial save. One probe goes down. Ooh, second probe as well. Gonna be 2 probe kills. Shield virus is on the way. 3 probes going down. This is slowly adding up, getting up to 4 kills. The adept has arrived, and the adept will zone away. So 5 probe kills in total at the same time. herO, he gets across the map. Throws in the pylon, fully denies the wall off. Shield batteries on the way, and the Reapers are racing back home. The boys are being pulled. The Stalker, so far, not doing any major damage here. Just now dipping in. Self moves forward, but the shield battery is denied. Bunker's on the way with only 1 Stalker. herO, he needs more support. Okay, in comes the second Stalker. Takes down one of the Reapers, but 1 Stalker still goes down. Up. Gets 2 Reapers. We'll lose 2 Stalkers. A better trade for ByuN. And the bunker will finish. The bunker will complete. herO, he will lose control of the main or of the ramp. But he can shade past this. True. He can go straight for the mineral line. And he is. He shades it up. Oh, he wants the Reapers. It doesn't quite get them. And Reapers, they get away in time. More SCV kills. So far, that's going to be, what, 4 SCVs? Oh. Let's hear shades out. Shades out, shades away, he expands, and as the dust settles here, where exactly are we? So, herO lost 6 probes, ByuN lost 7 SCVs, so economic damage was dealt to both players. ByuN, his production is up in the air, so no production here when it comes to his Raxes, delayed add-ons as well. He's working towards Cyclone, working towards Starport. The production is delayed, herO is already expanding, ByuN has yet to get a CC. As the dust settles, I do favor herO's position here, getting into a longer game. We'll see if ByuN can find more damage. ByuN, he needs to find more damage here. As herO, he's back at home, he's in position. Remember, the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for herO. As herO, he's going to have a 2-base economy. Father Council's on the way. ByuN behind this, getting a CC on location. We have seen players like Cure in this position go for a double expand and get their natural and third base at around the same time, in hopes that their opponents gives them breathing room. Oh. And Cyclones, they can hold their own. But we have more Warpins, more reinforcements. herO, he's here to break the natural. He's going in. He wants the Cyclones. He does want them. Dynamic is out. Oh! Ooh, does save one of the Cyclones. Does save the other as well. Nice juggling. Nice control. Very nice control out of ByuN. Despite that, he will still lose control of the natural and will be forced to cancel. Does have the tank though. Tank is out. Just running away the Stalkers. Oh, yes, 1 Cyclone finally goes down. There's a cancel. And things are looking dire here for ByuN. He could not afford to lose that natural base. He's being contained. He's being starved out. Stuck on a 1-base economy. We have Cloak Banshee on the way. Thankfully, herO does have a Robo, so he will have access to detection. So he should be okay. ByuN does move out. There was potential with the Banshees, but again, herO is playing safe. Robo on 2 bases. ByuN drops into the main. Gets a probe. Gets a probe, Banshee's moving out, Cloak is almost done. Depending on the location of the observer, there's still potential for damage. But ByuN still has not expanded. Like, there's still no base. We may just have to pull the boys and turn this into a 1-base all-in. CC's on the way. Attempt to expand. As the first Banshee goes in, gets 4 probe kills. Will go down. There's still 1 Banshee remaining. The first Banshee gets okay damage, but that's not quite worth the price of a Banshee and Cloak. And it's go time. Let's go. And we got 3 tanks, we got 2 Banshees, we got a Cyclone and a Medevac, we got Vanilla Marines. Send that, pappy, send it. 3rd Banshee's on the way. I should say 3rd Banshee in production. And ByuN, he does manage to siege up in between the bases. Okay. I mean, best case scenario, but Stalkers, they still dive in, boys are being pulled. Here he gets 1, gets 2. He should reset the tank count. It's still a messy fight, very messy, as the Stalkers, they do go down. 1 tank survives. ByuN, we gotta keep going. We gotta keep going. Deny Storm. Yeah, Storm is not gonna be a factor. ByuN, he's going in. He starts both Banshees. He can still pull this off. The all-in is working back. Yeah, takes out the Stalkers. Now it's 2 tanks. We have more tanks on the way. And herO, he might not be able to have enough here. The Banshee's getting free damage. Here he goes. Once again, dives in. Gets one of the tanks, going for the other, but he runs out of Zealots. He runs out of Zealots, and ByuN, he's done it. He breaks through the main army. The Zealots were dealt with. GG gets called, and ByuN, he pops off with the 1 base all in. He takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, ByuN. He does take a lead in the series. Again, a very dire position out of ByuN, but he was able to pull off the all-in. Again, herO unfortunately was not able to slow this down ahead of time, unable to engage ahead of time. He did have a decent army to work with, but again, that dive on the tanks was brutal because there were so many of them. He got, what, 2-3 tanks, so there's still more tanks left over. Stalkers went down. GG. GG, well played. Whew. ByuN takes the lead. ByuN does take a lead. Go. He's looking at 3rd base that didn't need to take. Kind of. There were 2 things that herO was working towards that did hurt him. I think he could have gone away with one of them. If you remember, he was getting a 3rd base, but he was also getting Storm. He was teching up and he was expanding. Whereas he could probably get away with one of them instead of both, while getting extra gateways instead to build up his main army. I don't think he really did give enough credit to the 1 base all-in for ByuN. Was maybe a little bit overconfident given the situation, given the position. Bappy, mate, 1 base all-ins, they hit different. Like, they they get it very hard. Never counterplay a rap Bappy. And that wasn't even ByuN's final form. He could have pulled the boys. He could But here we go. Here we go. We are getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Torches, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can recover. It is a herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran for Shopify. It is a ByuN. Also, I should make a correction here. In the previous game, it did say best of 3, specifically for PiGosaur Cups. If you don't recall, PiGosaur Cups have best of 5 semifinals. So this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. It is going to be a longer series, a longer back and forth. Just as a reminder, as a heads up. We get more games, Pat. We get more games. Until then, double gas opener out of ByuN, double gas going into a faster factory, into a delayed CC. Go. So insane. Oh no, I would just say overconfident. I would just say overconfident in what he had to defend, and probably just assume that ByuN would have that much less to work with. Never underestimate the power of a one-basing Terran. True. ByuN was even expanding behind it, by the way. He was getting a CC. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. For now, we're going to be opening up Reactor Reaper Hellion. It's been a while. I don't know how I feel about this. We'll see if we get into an extra wave of Reapers, just because Reaper cliffs are a little bit more limited here on Torches. I should also say, welcome one to Torches. Torches is one of the most vetoed maps in the map pool. He is doubling down on Reaper production. Okay. Making an extra wave. But again, there's no Reaper Cliff into the main base. There is a Reaper Cliff into the natural, but just the one, and a regular ramp as well. So it can be a little bit more difficult to find damage here from the side of ByuN, as herO is looking to expand. Again, expanding towards his opponent. Hallucination does confirm, does get eyes on the Reaper production, he knows. We'll see if ByuN can break through. I mean, the ramp is quite wide, so his goal might just be to rush up the ramp and get into the mineral line. But this is a big commitment here from ByuN. It's a big investment. And so far does dive in, going for the sentry. Yeah, sentry's going to be targeted down. He will lose one of the Hellions, a Reaper as well. Gets one sentry, and we'll get a Stalker. No safety shield battery. No shield battery out of herO. He gets punished. herO does hold, does defend, but did lose the sentry. And without that sentry, there is no scout, there's no hallucination. We initially scouted the 111, but behind this we have Hyperflight Rotors on the way. We've spoken about this before. There has been a rise in popularity of Hyperflight Rotors. The reasoning for this is because it's becoming more and more common here for players on two bases to go for a robo. It's becoming less common to delay the robo and less common to delay detection, so instead have more micro ability by going into Hyperflight Rotors instead of Cloak. So these Banshees are going to be more mobile, they can find more damage. Hallucination Scout does confirm that an upgrade is on the way. And herO is opening up Stargate. Sorry, does go for a Stargate follow-up after charge. This is something that herO's been messing around with a little bit. It is a quirky style that he has had success with. If you recall, he did defeat Clem with this not too long ago. Charge into Oracle, into, I'm pretty sure we go into Phoenixes from here. So we are setting up. Charge is almost done. Yep, there we go. Phoenix production has begun. And this is meant to catch the Terran player off guard, because remember, the Terran player already knows it's a Twilight Council opener. It is very uncommon to go Twilight Council into Stargate, which is why this has been quite successful as of late. Catching Terran players attempting to drop, for example. Results are revealed. Now ByuN knows it was a charge opener, not blink. And she's moving in. And the Phoenixes are amassing back at home. Building up those Phoenixes. Remember, there's no Cloak. Gets 3 probe kills so far, but it's going to be a one-way trip as the Banshees are all going to go down, even with Hyperflight Rotors. Yeah, they should fall. Still 6 probe kills for 2 Banshees. It's an okay trade, still not ideal, bearing in mind that we had to invest into the upgrade. And here, he's gained map control, he's moving out. Let's move out. Doesn't find too. Oh no! A little bit of miscontrol there. Runs into the army. One Phoenix goes down. Nice pick off here by ByuN. And that is going to slow herO down. Bearing in mind that herO, he is building up more Phoenixes. Like, he ideally wants to build up to, what, 5 Phoenixes to deter drops. Drops are very common on Torches. He's down to 3. Oracle pulls away. herO working towards Storm. Getting his third up and running. Still very tense. Without splash damage, ByuN still has the opportunity here. He's now moving out. Oracle does confirm the move out. Nice scout. herO sees the army. Behind this, he's getting ready. Shield batteries on the way. Does he have enough on the ground? As the boys are being pulled, we're committing to the 2-base all-in. So ByuN does commit. Boys are being pulled. And remember, he's hitting pre-storm. Matchup going up. Cleans up all 3 Widow Mines. No Widow Mines left. There's an Archon to help out. The boys are here. And ByuN, can he break through? Oh, baits out the stasis. Gets into the mineral line. And ByuN looks like he should have enough. He should have enough here. Takes care of 23 probes. Jesus. But with that warp in, here, he's holding. Here, he does hold on. So it's back the army. Do we pull the boys again? Do we? As ByuN did kill a lot of workers, but still not enough. Here is still up in workers, up in bases, up in economy. Here, he never started Storm. Never did start it. Does have another Archon on the way. That's what concerns me. The Archon's late to respond. A lot of Zealots are going to be going down. Picks off every single Zealot. And you can see without Zealots, this army just crumbles. And the army's just made of paper here. The Stalkers, they cannot hold their own. They just topple over. We need more charge, thus bad. And without them, ByuN, he breaks through. ByuN, he has done. He has broken the 3rd base. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take a lead in the series 2-0. GG. He extends his lead here. Hyper aggression out of ByuN on torches. We saw that herO, he was being a little bit cheeky going into Phoenixes as a follow-up. He was able to shut down the Banshees, that is true, but alas, that did also delay his further tech. He never quite got into any splash damage, not quite got into any Storm or any Colossus or anything like that. He had like an Archon or 2, but less than ideal. Here we go as we're getting into our next game, and we'll see if ByuN will take the 3-0 here and now, or if herO can actually make a series out of this. The pressure is on, but now we're going to be getting into one of our larger maps in the map pool. We're loading into Tokamak. Now, when it comes to hyper aggression, ByuN, he was forced into a 1-base all-in on Persephone in game 2 on Torches, went for a 2-base all-in. Here, coming into Tokamak, I don't expect to see an all-in. This is one of the larger maps. This is one of the more defensive maps. We're expecting to see ByuN get into a more 3-base setup here instead. That's what we're expecting, but we'll see. We shall see. As we're getting into game 3 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the blue Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, down in the series. Can he bounce back? It is a herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have as a we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Here we go. And again, we've seen a lot of aggression out of ByuN, but I don't think he really planned to do so in Game 1, for example, where he was forced into set all-in. Game 2 is Torches. Torches is known for aggression, known for all-in, similar to Pylon in that sense, similar to Ultra Love, of course. But coming into Tokamak, we expect things to slow down here. Now, you could try to defy expectations, to catch your opponent off guard, and to make it look like you're being greedy when you're not, try to hide a build, hide tech. For the most part, though, we're expecting ByuN to calm things down and maybe even rush into a faster third. Oh. As it looks like MaxPax and Creator are about to begin. A big shout out to Enki, Enki, el hermoso, papiga. Enki, he's the Spanish caster, of course. He's also a CranKy Duckling, is one of our own, but he's going to be helping over to cover MaxPax and a Creator. So much love to Enki, as it looks like that PvP is about to begin. If this is a 3-0, then we'll be hopping over and we'll be jumping onto MaxPax versus Creator as well. Jumping in mid-series. As once again, there are some tournaments that hold on to semifinals, like our tournaments or like Wardy TV Monday, but there are others like Little League Cup or like PiGosaur Cup, which do run them concurrently or simultaneously. Don't hold semis, which is all good. Enki is going to be hopping on over to cover it. Scouting probe gets shut down. Again, it was a double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC. This leads into a faster starport, and we'll see what ByuN goes into this time. I wouldn't be opposed to going into Banshee play again. We saw it shut down last game, but going into that Stargate follow-up is very niche. It's a very niche style that hero's been testing out and has been playing with. We can see it having more success here, the Banshees I mean. Here he's poking in. Does get the Hellion, but he will lose the Stalker. Behind is still riding forward. Picks up the Reapers. Very nice. Nice terrifying, but it's still coming at a cost. These are some expensive losses. herO pulls away, and ByuN holds. ByuN, he doesn't lose any SCVs here. He does preserve his workers. Nice defense. Bleeds out Reapers and Hellions, but I mean, they don't really scale well into a longer game anyway. So ByuN does hold. herO not stopping. Warps in another Stalker. Does rally forward. And once again, high fly rotors. Let's go. As you mentioned in the lead up to this, I do actually really like this choice here from ByuN. Yes, this got shut down last game, but that was partially also because of the Stargate Phoenix, which we're not expecting here on Tokamak. So we're going into the Banshees. Meanwhile, herO throws down an extra pair of gateways. He has 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink into a third. As here, he can take his... Oh, sorry, he already has his robo. And he has taken his gases. Oh, so it's going to be delaying his third. He has been a little bit more 2-base heavy before expanding. Which, again, has become more normal in recent times. Ooh. Ah, no blink. That was unfortunate timing for herO. Bleeds out another Stalker. Blink just now finishing up 10 seconds later. And here he will scouts. Does get eyes on the tech lab. Oh, going for the denial. He blinks in. And 2 more volleys. Can he get it? Oh my god, barely can. Barely denies Hyperflight Rotors. Not bad. Barely denies the upgrade. It was a couple of seconds away from finishing. And we got the vanilla Banshees coming in. It'll be that much easier to deal with. Let's go. Crazy snipe out of herO. You know, herO getting to charge. Temple Archives on the way for Storm. He's getting into his Gateway Explosion and claiming his third. You know, ByuN, he's not really pulling the trigger yet with those Banshees. Ideally, he wants to cause distraction. Wants to create an opening. Edvec moves out. herO to spot it. herO's aware. ByuN, he knows he got scattered. He unloads. Ooh, and ByuN with a surround. Yeah, catching out some of the Stalkers. Oh, was this worth it? He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3. Very nice. And 3 Stalkers go down. Insane catch here out of ByuN. ByuN, calm down, baby, calm down. And the Banshees, that was the moment they were looking for. Waiting for a distraction. 7 probe kills. They're still not done. Getting up to 10, 11. Ooh, not quite 12. But both Banshees do get away. The Banshees escape, and ByuN, he's all over herO this series. Yes, we are getting into 3 bases. Yes, we are getting into the mid game. We're slowing things down. This is meant to be a better setup for herO, but he's lost so much in the lead up to this. Oh, nice feedbacks. Okay. Does feedback. Storm has just now begun, and ByuN is pushing. ByuN is moving out. He's expanding behind this on location. ByuN sims in. But there are not enough zealots. Yeah, not enough zealots here. He will break through the main army. Again, the Stalkers, they need support. They cannot hold on their own. Okay, Zealot Warp-In does complete. Does finish the Warp-In. That's still going to be 8 more probes going down. Still brutal losses for herO. herO does hold, he does survive, but did cost him half a mineral line. Reggie goes back in. Reggie finally being shut down. ByuN is popping off, taking up into Ghosts. Ghosts are on the horizon. Oh. Storm does zone him away. And it's going to be zoned back. This will delay at least until Ghosts, as the Ghosts are still not out. And it's going to save the Vikings as well. Oh, EMP doesn't quite land. And again, it's go time for herO. These storms, they have to connect. So far, getting a medevac. There's 5 High Templar in total. And more Templar coming in. Does have plenty of storms. Oh, EMP layout. That's a brutal EMP. Catches out 3 High Templar. There's 2 left. And those are the final storms. Here, the final storms here for herO. One storm did connect well, but it's not enough. Yeah, ByuN breaks through, sims on forward, and takes down the Archons. This is going to cost him 17 SCVs, though. Yeah, losing his entire mineral line. 19 workers going down. Now, ByuN, he did catch all the Zealots, the Archons, and the High Templar. But the army is battered and bruised. Given time here, he can just rebuild. And he's even setting up a run by. Mega Squad. Thankfully, ByuN didn't move out. And the goal here might just be to slow things down for ByuN. ByuN, he has a little bit of momentum going his way. His working on is still lackluster, but the army is there. But as he moves out, yep, Zelda moving in. ByuN, he commits. Does commit. He was spotted by the Observer. herO, he knows. He has how many High Templar? 7! 7 Templar, plenty of storms. SCP, lands 1. ByuN, he has to get the hell out of here. Again, there's so many Templar chasing. Storm lands. So the EMPs. But this will play more storms where that came from. So that pulls away. And I'm making reference to what we saw from ByuN last night against Nightmare, where ByuN, he might decide to get his 4th base, turtle up with planetaries, sensor towers. Speaking of, sensor towers are going to be on the way, and ByuN is going to have to take a defensive approach until he maxes out. But it's not going to work as well on Tokamak, going for this kind of style. Very nice reaction. Got he stims, he gets 3 stalkers, he gets 4. Jesus. Stalkers go down. herO, he has map control, so he's mass expanding. herO, he will have and he will maintain a better economy. And again, ByuN can't really be active here. He's moving out with a force. Oh, good. Can he kind of push head on like that? Also on the vehicle weapons or ship weapons. A very nice EMP. Okay. Does catch 3-eye Templar. And again, that's what ByuN is reliant on. He's reliant on those EMPs. And they have been solid. Yeah, reinforcing High Templar coming in. herO likewise coming in from behind. He gets caught out. Oh, brutal EMPs once again. Does catch more High Templar. And more Templar getting caught out. ByuN has to get the hell out of here. Oh no! Yeah, he gets surrounded. ByuN pulls away. He plummets in supply. Fun fact, ByuN, he caught every Templar, but towards the end there, that was brutal. ByuN losing far too much. He got too excited, man. He got too excited. And he will lose everything. And for the first time in a long time, herO now has a supply lead, an army supply lead specifically. So he's up in army. ByuN is hurting. If ByuN can fight with a planetary, he can hold on. He can buy time. But herO now taking more bases. And ByuN, I feel like we should be working towards Liberators at this point. No Fusion Core yet. Second starport is done. Storms are coming in. Does miss the EMP. Did miss. Still trying to make a stand. Oh god, and here, Jesus, here, he's maxed out. He's maxed out, Pappy. He just forced his way through. Cannon, he will. Even with these EMPs landing, we have, what, 5 Immortals. So here he can just brute force his way through, and we will have a series. It's not going to be 3-0 here. He's here to tie things up, or at least to put a fight in. He does fight back. GG gets called, and herO puts a point on the board. GG. Whew. GG, well played. herO does fight back. It does look to tie things up here. Again, ByuN, he honestly had a decent start to this game when he had map control. He had the greater army. He did lose a lot of SCVs when it came to defense at his 3rd base. True, he lost a lot of workers there, which did slow him down. But he was actually able to recover quite nicely, catching up more High Templar until the fight on the left-hand side of the map. When he pushed past halfway mark, ByuN did overextend. He overextended. He got surrounded, if you recall. Did get surrounded. We saw that herO came in from behind with a flanking army of Archons and Stalkers and some High Templar, which got caught. And with that, he surrounded ByuN. Then GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he lost momentum. He lost his army, which was giving him a chance in that game. And with that, we're getting into game number 4. Ooh, we're loading into a smaller map though, loading into Pylon. If you recall, I was favoring herO coming into a larger map like Tokamak because he could actually embrace a better economy and a larger base count. He could get his 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th base up and running partly because of the size of the map, just because of how defensive you can be on Tokamak. Here on Pylon, smaller map, it's going to be more difficult for the herO to get away with that kind of style. This is where we lean more towards ByuN. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 4, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pylon, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss down in the series. We'll see if we can tie things up. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. See Segasaurus in the chat. Yes, as we mentioned, Enki, el hermoso. He is covering MaxPax versus Creator, so do check him out. He's one of our boys, maybe one of our boys. Much love to Enki, much love. We are building up once again, double gas open out of ByuN. And as we mentioned, welcome to Pylon. Pylon is one of the smallest maps in the map pool, if not the smallest. Short rush distance by ground. Aggression is favored here on this map. And we have seen a lot of aggression out of ByuN this series. Remember, game 1, he was forced into a 1-base all-in. Game 2, he went for a 2-base all-in by pulling the boys. Here in game 4, that kind of play is going to be accessible once again for ByuN. I would not be surprised if herO blindly opens charge. So we'll see how herO does open up. We should not be seeing Stargate play at all here for herO. That would be disastrous, especially against a more aggressive Terran. And we'll see. We could also see a Robo opener, for example, just to be safe. And we'll see what herO goes for after the Twilight Council. Sorry, after the Cybercore. Soon herO Duckling. No shot, no shot. The herO. One day, papi, one day. We'll get true. We'll get bang Teso. Bang Teso. He doesn't even play SE2 anymore, but boy. So now we do have a take of choice. Twilight Council opener out of herO. Does open Twilight Council, and ByuN playing safe, going for the CC on the high ground. Just to make sure he's undisturbed. Reaper goes in for a scout. It does confirm the gateway and will confirm the tech of choice. So ByuN, he sees all. Sees all, he knows all. From here, we're going for the initial drop play into add-on swap into, do we go Banshee again? Do we open up Raven? What is the follow-up going to be? Oh, that, okay. that I was not expecting. Yes, we have a tech lab, but we're going to be opening up Liberator instead. Have my attention. That's ByuN. He got faked out by the hallucination. With that, the drop is delayed. Here he has time to respond. And ByuN does drop into the natural. With my Zubaro. Oh! Stalker. Ping one. And just buying time. The retire, let's go! Does retarget, there we go, one probe goes down, and he will barely save one of the Widow Mines. ByuN pulls out. He pulls out in time. herO behind this, going 3-gate blink into a Robo, taking gases on 2 bases. Once again, a relatively safe play out of herO. And ByuN's Liberator is moving out. across the map. As the Adept is being very annoying, getting 3 SCVs. Oh boy, that should not be happening. Nice harass with the Adept. Yeah, at the same time, Stalkers, they move in. ByuN, he was distracted by the Adept. Everything was in the main. And ByuN is being pulled apart. Ay, ay, ay. The one herO Adept. It killed 3 workers and he dragged the entire army out of position. That's going to be 12 SCVs. herO takes the lead. At the same time, Liberator does get across the map. Stalkers, they're across the map. They're out of position. It's going to be 4 kills. Both players taking losses, but I do prefer herO's position. Here he's looking for more damage. Doesn't find, but no, he gets punished. Has to respect the tanks. herO pulls away. Does move out. After all the losses early on, what do we have? We have +1 on the way. We still have our 2-1-1 setup. Yeah, we pull the boys. I was about to point out that there's no third CC. There's no further attack. 2 base all-in out of ByuN. This is going to be a bit of a weaker all-in just because of all the earlier losses. Does ByuN have enough? Here he has some force fields. There's a scan. So force fields, they buy some time. Tank does siege. And there's still plenty more force fields to work with. The mortal production is underway. The longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. herO, he just has to survive. Oh. So Liberator does hold. Pushing towards the sentries. Another tank gets caught unsieged. But the voice here, he does target fire the Stalkers. Stalkers are going down, and ByuN, it looks like he might barely have enough here. I say that, out comes the second Immortal. Second Immortal has arrived. Tanks are pushing forward. Punkers on the way. They'll buy some time. Yeah, there'll be a buffer here to protect against the Immortals. But now there's going to be a third Immortal. There's too many. 3 Immortals, Pappy. And he's going for the tanks. There we go. First tank goes down. Second tank goes down. He just target fires the tanks. The Immortals, they pop off. And every tank will fall. And there's almost nothing left. There's almost nothing left here. There's a handful of Marines. The power of the Immortals back. And herO holds. GG gets called. herO, he holds, he defends. We are going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, time was of the essence. ByuN, unfortunately, he was unable to push in, unable to get on top of the robo. And with that, with 3 Immortals here, he just had his way with those tanks. They almost got one shot, one after the other. GG. GG, well played. The power of the Immortal. Aye, aye, aye. And with that, we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Maganatha. Okay, we're going from one of the smaller maps into the largest map in the map pool. Maganatha is huge. A lot of bases, a lot of wide open spaces, and we'll see how our players will adjust their approach. Let's go. I mentioned before that I do favor herO on these larger maps. I stand by that here, coming into Maganatha. So we'll see if ByuN goes for a more mid-game approach instead. Here we go. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss repping Zest. Repping Zest there on the portrait. It is a herO. Feel Zest, man. Always best. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Zest, he's one of those players that a lot of people were looking forward to his eventual return, but at this point, didn't come back to us, man. Didn't come back to us. Smurge, man. Smurge. Este Zest. But from here, welcome 1-0 to Magnatha. Magnatha again being the largest map in the map pool. The map is large, but the base is also very spread out, so it can be difficult to defend against drop play and against counterattacks. I can definitely see ByuN embracing the mid game here on Magnatha and having success with it. But we'll see. He's up against herO of all players. So we'll see what he goes for. Now gate expand out of herO into Cybercore. The people want Zest. The people want Zest abs. Okay, that's what they want. They want all the abs. Everyone knows who I want. I want patience back. Give me my patience. Previously, I would say Impact, but you know, Impact. He's doing well for himself. I don't want to take away from that. Bodybuilder Impact, crazy. Let him do his thing. Let him build that body. Hear that the people want Zest. Oh no. So if I was settling in, we do have our tech lab on the factory, so early Cyclone production out of ByuN. Just to be safe. Going Rax expand. What about Trap? Trap, he already came back. For those who are unaware, Trap, he came back last year, right? He came back last year around... Ooh, like halfway through the year, maybe? Around then? You remember he joined Genji Esports? But Trap, he retired again afterwards. For those that are curious as to why, it's because Trap, he's a pappy. He's a pappy now. He's a pappy. He's less vocal about it and less vocal compared to Dark, for example. So there's a little bit less like social media posts about that. But yeah, Trap, he became a dad like a couple of months ago, like pretty recently, at the start of the year. So he did decide to focus on you know, parenting, on his family. So did silently step away from StarCraft. This was like in April, right? Like March, April of this year. So shout out to Trap. Yeah. Like it's not like public news because there was no like big post about it like Dark, but yeah, it was earlier this year. So much love to Trap. That's why he like silently stepped away. Even though he was looking really good. Like Trap, he was competing a lot like in December, January, and he was looking really good. That's Mind Shot's gonna be going off. No major vehicles, gets a sentry, gets a stalker. Strays with the army, and once again going into Hyperfire Road. Again, he's quite fond of it. And we did see him excel with this on Magnatha, if you recall. He was actually doing quite a lot with these Banshees. Meanwhile, herO, nice read, once again, charge into Stargate. We saw this on, we saw this on Torches, if you recall. So charge lots into Phoenixes. On Torches, we saw that herO was punished from a 2-base all-in, which, I mean, Phoenix play is very vulnerable to 2-base all-ins, but the chances of there being an all-in on Magnatha is much lower. Much lower here. So I do like that herO is going to be embracing these Phoenixes to gain map control, to shut down drop play, to shut down the potential Banshees as well. Oh boy. We'll see how it all comes together. Hallucination goes in, does confirm the cloak, or does confirm the research, I should say. He can assume it's cloak, but because it's ByuN, he might accurately assume that it's going to be Hyperfly Rotors. ByuN does back up those Banshees. Oracle's on the way. We'll have a Revelation if need be. And how many Phoenixes are we on? So far, just one. Back is hunted down. ByuN, he's now aware that Phoenixes are out there. You can see him, pull back his Banshees. Does hide them. Oh, actually rotating over towards the left-hand side. Okay. Skirting around the left. The edge of the map. It is only one Phoenix, though. This time hasn't made any additional Phoenixes. Goes in for a scout. Getting caught out. Very nice catch. Phoenix falls. Banshees, they can go in. Banshees have nothing to worry about. I remember he beat MaxPax when no one was beating MaxPax in PvP, then he just disappeared. Yeah. Again, like it was a silent retirement for Trap. He was not as vocal when it comes to his family. But much love to Trap. So does move in. Storm is ready in 10 seconds. Here he needs a little bit more time. ByuN, he's gaining ground here, but Storm is finishing up just now. Nice mind shots here on the Zealot. He kites well. That's a lot of Zealots going down, but over the Storm does connect. First Storm does land, and ByuN gets the hell out of here. And he pulls away. Not against this many High Templar. It's too early for Ghosts. As he pulls back, at Banshees, they hit the third base. Nicely done. Probes are going down. 5, 6 probe kills, 7 probes. Forces the recall, heads over towards the natural. More probes could be falling. And ByuN Ghost production is underway. So get a very nice result. This is getting out of hand. 17, 18 probe kills. Gets over a mineral line. And even if they go down here and now, they've paid for themselves. They've already paid for themselves here. Ooh, a little bit of mismovement there. They were a little bit too close to the edge. One Banshee goes down. Phoenix pops out. But overall, ByuN comes out ahead. Comes out ahead here. He's getting ready with his Ghost, getting ready for those High Templar. And the pressure's on herO. Now he does have 6 High Templar full of energy. Sure, there are a couple of Ghosts, but we need a lot of EMPs. Oh, first one lands. Jesus. First one does land directly on 3 High Templar. Down to 3. Yeah, 3 Templar left. Did I say 3? Down to 2. Yeah, 2 Templar remaining. Count them down without Templar. Here, he has to get out of here. EMP doesn't land. It barely does miss. And there's still 1 Storm in the chamber. And herO pulls away. Again, he's down to 1 Storm, so he pulls away, erases back home, warps in more at Templar. ByuN holds. He holds, he defends. From here, ByuN is forcing his way forward. He's still pushing into 5 High Templar. Oh, 1 Storm does land. Oh, that was a brutal Storm. Storm was brutal. Nice EMP. Down to, I think, 1? Yeah, down to 1 High Templar with Storm energy. And even then, still needs a little bit more time. So once again, ByuN, he does outtrade herO. EMPs have been solid. And ByuN is looking to be the first to max out. Behind this, getting a 4th CC, building up into a longer game. Again, he's had a strong start just because, I mean, thanks to the Banshees. Remember, they killed, what was it, 18 probes. So here he doesn't have the momentum that he typically has. Cells are spotted.
This better be good.
And scans, sees the charge lots. And ByuN is maxed. ByuN is maxed out. which is great and all, but he does have to make use of this army. He has to make use of the supply. He should be looking to trade. Should be looking to trade in some way. +2 is about to complete. Ooh, as he runs, not like this. Runs into one of the storms. He has to get out. From here he kites back, he picks up some zealots. And he remaxes. As the fight's occurring, zealots to hit the third. ByuN responds, so far so good. Keeps up with the zealots, keeps up with the main army. And this is what ByuN needs to do. Just keep engaging like this, picking up zealots, High Templar, units here and there, keeping the supply low for herO while maintaining his own. And he is slowly switching into Liberators. I believe there's no Fusion Core. Yeah, there's no Fusion Core. No Liberator range. EMP lands. Oh, that was the only storm. Yeah, that was the only storm with the army. Uh-oh. Here he has to pull away at the same time, pushing on the right-hand side. The storms are coming. ByuN does notice, he does. Oh, still the storm lands. That was the only storm. Yeah, the EMP was brutal, and ByuN, he takes the fight on both ends. I mean, he does take it. The Templar, get out of here. He should get all three. Yeah, there's no escaping this. ByuN, he does win on both fronts. Once again, just out-trading herO. hero's double expanding. Fusion Core's on the way. herO, these are the only 3 High Templar left. This is all he has. He's got a couple of storms. Here comes EMP. EMP, oh, does grace the Templar. There's soon to be 1 storm. And nice free split. Nice spread out of ByuN. Once again, takes the fight. He denies top right. That was the final storm. Oh, there's a defensive storm back at home. And herO does hold. Here he's holding on, Babby's holding on. But ByuN is so close to just breaking herO. 3-3 is on the way. Fusion Core is done. I believe we're still waiting for the Liberator upgrade. Yeah, still hasn't been researched. But ByuN, he can't let up. Like, he cannot let up. We gotta keep going. We gotta keep pushing. Does catch an Archon. There's 2 Templar left in the game. They're towards the top side. And base trade. Yeah, herO, he cannot fight head on. He's been losing these fights. He has to go for the base trade. That's the best chance for herO. ByuN is racing back home. There are 3 Templar. 1 EP lands. Down to 1 Templar. There's 1 more out there. There it is. So the final Templar is further back. Ooh, ByuN getting caught out here. That's a lot of supply. He does get caught out. As it goes, a couple of Marauders. Still very tense. Again, ByuN, he lost a base. Has to rebuild. Has to replace. As here he rotates towards the south side. ByuN out of position. But he does have Liberators. They've arrived. Still no range, but he holds. He holds. He counterattacks. herO, he does have bottom left. No saturation, though. Ooh, as workers are being transferred. Uh-oh. Get the boys out of here. Yeah, the transfer thankfully does notice. No! Does notice one of them. Perps are getting caught out. Nice storm. The EMPs, they cover all 3 High Templar. ByuN's getting caught out. The entire army responds to this. herO with a massive rotation, which means herO has nothing to defend. Does he have a recall? Once again, we're trading bases. Yeah, we're going to trade bases here. So here he will lose center left. ByuN will lose his third. And there's a recall, but the recall will not finish in time. ByuN racing back. Now, throughout all of this here, he's been slowly banking up and building up those High Templars. So now he's up to 10. 10 High Templar. That's a lot of storms. Oh no, the boys! Oh, yeah, miss rally. Boys, a rally in. Oh, the High Templar stack. Yeah, Templar stack. So many of them getting EMP'd. And here he has to get out of here. He has to pull away. Does get 13 SCVs. But that was brutal. Still has no saturated bottom left. One Liberator makes sure of that. So here he's running out of bases. He's down to a 4 base economy. Not even really, as he's mined out his main base. Almost mined out his natural. So 2.5 bases. Meanwhile, ByuN has a fresh center base. Here we're going for run bys. He's got 10 Templar, and most of them are here. They clumped up. Oh, does he notice? Oh, late reaction. Yeah, late reaction out of ByuN. His attention was elsewhere. Does catch all these stalkers. So a bit of a give and take. ByuN pulls back to the planetary. That was costly. But what's important though is that he denies mining. Yeah, he denies mining, denies bases. From here, he goes to the mineral line. That's going to be 17 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Can he get out of here, though? Can he leave? Oh, nice EMP. Nice EMP. Picks up, gets the hell out of here. Medevacs, they do escape. So nice retreat here by ByuN. Liberation zones are moving in. Oh my god, no, no! The High Templar stack. They keep stacking, Pappy. Relics get knocked down. They knock down they catch one of the zealots. And hero's falling apart. At this point, he has fallen apart. He has no economy. He has no money. Hero, he's just out of money. He's out of resources. No gas. No gas income. He cannot warp in. And Hero, and ByuN, he had some insane EMPs this game. Someone link this VOD to Clem. Teach him how to play. Clem's like, Pappy, you can only play mech against Protoss. ByuN's like, nah. I'll show you how to EMP. I'll show you. Oh no. We'll make ByuN we'll make him make a video tutorial for Clem. Ay ay ay. As ByuN was crazy this game. So many insane EMPs. As this is the final army for Hero. Yeah, the final army, down to a couple of Zealots, down to a couple of Archons. GG, and GG gets called Hero. He's out of money, he's out of bases, out of everything, and ByuN, he will take the series 3-2, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. That was insane play out of ByuN. I mean, more often than not, he was landing those EMPs almost perfectly, whether it was on groups of High Templar or individual High Templar as well, before we could see any storms. A big reason for this as well isn't just the main army engagements, it was because almost every time there was something else happening at the same time as well. There were typically like 2 fights occurring, 2 different armies engaging, and often we would see distractions being caused. So Hero, he'd be paying attention elsewhere, getting caught out by EMPs, or even ByuN forcing these distractions, and even at times winning on both fronts, EMPing on both sides of the map as well. It was crazy. It's crazy. But GG, well played. ByuN, he does overwhelm, does take it. A very impressive play here by ByuN. GG, well played. Whew. As ByuN, he does claim the series, does make it to the finals, and we'll see who will play off against him in those finals. Do we have any updates? What's been going on? Oh boy, yeah, we do have some updates, so we're heading on over to the Americas server. MaxPax takes down Creator 3-1 to make it to the grand finals. ByuN now has an opponent. It's going to be a TVP between ByuN and MaxPax. Oh boy, the grand finals are upon us. herO was an amazing feat for ByuN, true, 100%, but MaxPax is a very different player. I think an example of that, one of the builds that herO did embrace twice in this series, and he actually lost both times. True, it was on Torches and on Magnatha. herO, he opened a charge into Phoenixes, into a Stargate. So Twilight Council into Stargate. This is a unique build that only herO's been doing. Like, players like MaxPax or Classic have not been playing around with this. And there are pros, there are cons to it. One of the big downsides, it's a big investment. If your Phoenixes get caught out, then you're vulnerable to aggression. We saw that on Torches, for example. We kind of saw that a little bit on Magnatha just because of the Banshees. If you remember, one Phoenix went down, didn't have any more, and the Banshees got almost 20 probe kills on their own. I think it was 18. They got 18 kills. It was insane damage out of ByuN, and he gained momentum from there. But these are certain builds, these are certain styles that only herO's known for. We should be seeing more like standard play out of MaxPax. More standard, you know, 3-gate blink into charge, into storm, into the mid game instead. No really playing around with Phoenixes. Here's what we are expecting. But here we go. Vetoes are underway. Vetoes are underway. I also want to help out Enki a little bit here. Help out Yankee. As they're still conducting those vetoes. So I'm just sending those replays to Enki so we can cast them. Because that was a solid series. I know Enki would appreciate. Okay, we're good. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so it looks like vetoes are done, and game 1 is going to be on... Oh, game 2 is on Torches. Jesus. Okay. I assumed that Torches would be vetoed, but no, it makes it through once again. It does make it through. Storm Gaming. Okay. 4 AM MaxPax time. Yes. MaxPax is one of the few Europeans that does consistently play in these tournaments. One of the few. Goes full degen, Pat. Full degen. But game 1 is going to be on ley lines. As a reminder as well, the finals are going to be a best of 5, and also again, congratulations to MaxPax for beating a Creator. We did have a bit of a back and forth there, but alas, a Creator did fall to MaxPax. And now we have our final series of the broadcast, the final matchup. I'm curious to see how ByuN is going to be adjusting against MaxPax. Typically when they face off, we often do see ByuN going for these more aggressive builds. It is a little bit map dependent, but I don't know if he's as comfortable getting into like the mid game against MaxPax. Not too sure about that. For now, they're all loading in. Shout out to all the other casters as well, not just Enki, but also Rocklet's casting in Brazilian and Portuguese, and of course Bomioja and Steadfast also casting in English. Also an English map. All the casting. See in the YouTube chat. ByuN is so cool. It was really sick play. Like, I feel like the ace match there really showcased ByuN's speed, ByuN's APM, his attention span as well, or I say attention span, his reaction time, I should say. And here we go. Here we go. I just realized I have to change the YouTube title as well. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Leylines, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. He just took down herO in a very intense best of 5. Is he spent? Is he out of energy, or can he keep going? As that was a crazy best of 5. We'll see if he can. For Shopify, it is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. We go, and again, I'm sure MaxPax, he was lying in wait. I'm sure he was watching that series as it was unfolding. So just updating the YouTube title. And as we settle into this, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. Let's go. Let us go. Also, we're going to Leylines. Leylines is one of the more standard maps of the map pool. It's not as large as Tokamak or Magnatha or Incorporeal, but it's not as small as Pylon or Ultralove or Torches, so a little bit more down the middle. A little bit more. So we'll see how our players will approach this. As I mentioned previously, I don't really expect to see Stargate play at a MaxPax. He's been very vocal about his disdain for Stargate play as well. It is like viable and definitely viable on certain maps, and definitely more accessible, especially on maps like Torches, for example. We've seen a lot of Stargate play, but MaxPax is not really one to embrace that too much. So we're expecting like 3 Gapeling, sometimes 4 Gapeling Stalker. True, he does whip that out from time to time if he sees an opportunity. Oh, hello. As ByuN is opening up Marauder first. Okay. So ByuN does go for an economic start, racks expand. MaxPax did scout this, and the purpose, the goal of going Marauder is to try to punish MaxPax's punishment. Basically, MaxPax or the Protoss player typically would be making early units and rally them across the map to delay this CC, right? To disrupt the economic build of ByuN. His goal here is to try to lure him in, bait him, and then catch the initial Adept or Stalker. But as you can see, MaxPax, he doesn't move out. Yeah, he doesn't move out. He makes a Stalker, but he stays at home. He stays at home. And ByuN takes a 3rd CC on location. He's crazy. Let's go. We have been seeing this a little bit more from ByuN. ByuN 3rd CC before 2nd racks, before factory, before anything else. So very greedy play here by ByuN. We'll see if he can get away with it. We'll see, Pappy. We'll see. Cutting all the corners, cutting everything. So it's going 3 CC, 3 racks. We have seen this from ByuN before, but typically the 3rd CC's in the main. For it to be on location is crazy. And is he gonna check? Yeah, MaxPax, he sees the extra maxes, but he doesn't check the 3rd base yet. Hallucination pulls away. MaxPax, he doesn't confirm. So for all he knows, this could be a 3 racks, even a 4 racks follow-up. This could be just hyper aggressive. MaxPax, nah, he expands. 2 gate. Yeah, 2 gate blink into a 3rd base. A solid read here out of MaxPax, going into a very greedy build himself. This is very out of favor. This is very out of fashion, going 2 gates into an expansion. So we have greed versus greed. Hallucination does go in. And MaxPax is yet to confirm. Spots eBay, spots production. He should realize that something is a little bit wrong. Oh no! As the hallucination will expire. Doesn't confirm the third base. MaxPax getting in position. First gateway explosion. But again, a push isn't coming. MaxPax is expecting it. Once again, trying to get an eye on move outs. Once again, there's not really much of an army. That's pushing. And it feels like at this point, ByuN, he's gotten away with it. He's gotten away with the third base. It's going to slowly get up and running. Now, when it comes to this fast third, it doesn't really kick in until it gets fully saturated. So it's going to take a little bit longer here for ByuN to reap its rewards. Right now, the supplies are neck and neck, but soon he will have a boosted economy, and then he can take a supply lead in the mid-game. This entire time, MaxPax, he could be just killing SCVs. Like, these workers are so exposed, they're so vulnerable. MaxPax, he doesn't check. He doesn't know. He still has no idea. Otherwise, that would just be free damage. So ByuN, he does catch a stalker. Gets one. Let's go to Stalker, warping across the map. MaxPax looking for a drop into the main. Gonna get spotted. He's going for it. He's going for the run by, going for the drop. ByuN doesn't really have much at home to defend. I'll say drop in. ByuN, he responds. Fire keeps up. Does catch out the Zealots. ByuN is pushing forward. Storm is ready, but there are no... Okay, there's one High Templar. There are a couple of Templar. There's a Storm. And it does zone ByuN away. That's used the force fields. And ByuN, he holds. He holds back at home. Just defends. The War Prism is still behind the main base. And we spoke about it earlier, right? Like, the third base doesn't really kick in until the mid-game. You can see it here. ByuN does take that supply lead. He has the army. And he is somewhat in position. Denies the warp in. Let's go. Does deny. MaxPax, he saw the transferring workers, so I believe he is now aware of the third. He has 3 High Templar, 3 Storms. He's pushing in. Oh. That shot goes off. Decent mine connections. Nice spread with the Marauders. Very nice. Does force out one of the Storms. Snipes 1 High Templar. There's 2 Templar left. Remember, at this stage of the game, there are no Ghosts or no EMPs. Storms, they are popping up. Those are the final 2 Storms, and the boys are being pulled. With that, ByuN, he will shut this down. He will clean up the army completely, but it's going to cost him so many SCVs. The main base. The main base is just on fire. Zealots are popping up. ByuN, he takes the main fight. It was impressive, but back at home, 32 SCV kills. The Zealots, they're winning the game here for MaxPax. The Zealot drop back. Yay. And this is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand here. ByuN still has the better army, but ByuN, after killing these Zealots, he has to counterattack immediately. Otherwise, he'll just be outscaled. And even then, I don't know if he can pull it off. The losses are on the way. Another Zealot run by. Back at home, we have High Templar, we have Storm. ByuN down to 44 SCVs. ByuN still has a massive army, by the way. But he's stuck at home. He's stuck defending. He does have, how many? 2 Ghosts, soon to be 3. 3 Ghosts are coming out. Another Zealot run by, and another. And MaxPax, he knows that he's vulnerable. He knows that he's behind, or that he's in a dire position. So the Zealots are ready to distract, to counterattack, to drag back ByuN, to buy time, to allow MaxPax to build up his army. And he's pulling it off. He's making 2 more Colossus. So MaxPax is getting further ahead. MaxPax is up to 80 probes. Jesus. It's up to a 4 base saturation. He's getting his 4th Colossus up and running. How many Vikings does ByuN have? 4. Only 4 Vikings. The Viking count isn't there. Colossus, they can reign supreme. Storms are good, but Colossus up against 0 Vikings, I mean, they can be better. Sure, there are a handful of Vikings, but it's 1-to-1. Second starport's now on the way. Both players are building up. ByuN, he needs something to go his way. And my big concern here is that MaxPax, he can slowly just take more bases. I mean, he's maxed out now. He's pushing out. Still only 5 Vikings for ByuN. I'm very concerned about that low Viking count. Unless he can get on top of the Colossus themselves. There's not that much ground support. Prism gets shut down. Nicely done. Prism does fall. Vikings get a decent angle. They will get 1 Colossus. Not even. Colossus pulls away. Pulls back. And ByuN, he's rolling on. We have more CCs in production. Got more bases. Soon to be more planetaries as well. Slowing things down. Getting into the late game. Now, if you recall, a big criticism of Nightmare coming into this kind of game state was that Nightmare, he never teched up, he never got ready for a Skytoss transition. We'll see if MaxPax needs to go to the nice EMP. Oh my god. Very nice EMP. That was half the High Templar. Okay, there's still a couple more. There's still 3 more Templar. ByuN is buying time. Here we go. Fusion Core's on the way. Getting into Liberators. On the horizon. There's a Stargate. This is what Nightmare was missing. So Stargate's on the way, getting ready for the Fleet Beacon, getting ready for Skytoss. MaxPax is thinking further ahead. Maybe he lands. Oh, brutal. Oh god, he stands in the storm. It's a lot of damage on the pyre. Where are the ghosts? Ghosts now moving in. 3 goes to the main army. Lands 1 EMP. Lands 1. We do see that MaxPax is keeping his High Templar back to make sure he doesn't stack. Another EMP lands. Okay, he's got 2 more Templar with the army. ByuN does scout. ByuN is aware. MaxPax is coming with another Templar. Storms, they keep turning away. EMP lands, but there's still 1 more Templar left. There's still 1 Templar behind this. And another comes in. And with that, he just has perpetual storms. EMP lands. That was the final storm. But the base was broken. 12 ACV kills. MaxPax, he got what he wanted. He always just had a storm available. And there's a fleet beacon. Fleet beacon. That'll be for the mothership. Doesn't have to switch into Skytoss, but he'll have it ready. So here come the upgrades. Oh, nice flank. Gets a Templar. We have 4 Templar in total. These are the only 4 currently. MaxPax, nice EMP. EMPs are landing. Jesus. EMPs are landing. But there's still 3 Templar left with energy. It's hoping for 1 solid fight. We have a +1 air attack. We have 3 more Stargates on the way. That's going to be a quadruple Stargate setup. Oh. EMP lands. Okay, there's 2 Templar left with energy. Just the 2. Zones. Okay, we still have 2 storms remaining on the 1 High Templar. At the same time, Brutal Zealot run by. Oh. Okay, it does attract ByuN. ByuN has to race over. That's going to be 10, 11, 12 SCV kills. Oof. Critical damage. And carrier production has begun. MaxPax throwing down cannons, shield batteries, Tempest are on the way. I believe he canceled the carriers. Yeah, he cancels the carriers, goes into Mass Tempest. Again, Tempests are superior, they're just more efficient. Especially no longer in later game. This is still quite tense, but MaxPax has the bank. He's got a bank to work with. He's getting ready to have a more efficient army. Liberation now has arrived, but by the time we have Liberators, we already have Tempest. This is late for ByuN. Thankfully, he does have a lot of Vikings after. Oh, good. Storms are brutal. Storms do run away. ByuN does punish. And you can see MaxPax slowly just bullying back the army. That's the power of the Tempest. ByuN cannot keep up with its range. You can see ByuN trying to come in for a flank, but MaxPax, he notices. MaxPax just bullying the center base. How many Vikings do we have? 14. 14 Vikings. Is that enough? Guess 1 Tempest. Gets 2. Okay. 2 Tempests go down. Storms, they were late. CMPs, we're just now warping in more High Templar. And ByuN is hoping for one big fight. If he can take a fight and try to rush on through and get on top of the production, then he can try to end the game. But these small skirmishes are still in favor of MaxPax. Because he's got, what, 8,000 minerals and 5,000 gas. I think it's so difficult to maintain this center base on ley lines. The mineral line is so exposed. Storm connects. Nice time for some of the Vikings. At the same time, ByuN, he is pushing it on the south side. Zealous will shut him down. A nice flank though. Nice flank. The Colossus getting caught out. Oh, the Vikings. Oh god, they stack up against the Archons. A lot of Vikings fall. It was a messy fight, a messy trade for ByuN. He does win the fight in the end, but remember, MaxPax, he can remax, he can rebuild. We have carriers on the way. ByuN, he's gonna keep going. He has to keep going, but he can't because of the storms. Okay. Takes the storm to the face. EMPs do land. Okay. Lands the EMPs. There's still a couple of storms remaining. See a nice spread here by ByuN. That's the final storm. And ByuN, he breaks through. He breaks the main army. He does push in. Zealot reinforcements are brutal. Nice cloak with a ghost will save them. No detection. No observer. And keep going. ByuN, he has to keep pushing. Thankfully, his Viking count is solid. Remember, carriers are on the way, and Vikings will be ideal against that. Will be ideal. Here come the first wave of carriers. Oh, Vikings, they lands. Now he scans. Now he lifts. He's like, okay. He needs the carriers. Oh my god, a massive DT counterattack. 12 DTs. They kill the planetary and they cause a distraction. ByuN, what's the plan? Do we turn around? Do we commit? There's Colossus. Guess one of the carriers. Brutal storm. The Vikings, they send in the storms, and the Vikings are all going down. And with that, MaxPax, he holds. MaxPax, he does hold on. Meanwhile, DTs are crossing up. They kill everything. 21 SCV kills, 2 bases. And MaxPax will take it. Again, ByuN, he held his own. He had some better fights at times, but specifically ley lines is really brutal for late game just because of this. This center base here, the top base, and this center base as well. Like, these bases are so exposed, so vulnerable, so difficult to maintain if your opponent has map control. It's unique to ley lines. As opposed to Persephone, for example, where it's easier to take your bases. Or Tokamak. Yeah, ley lines is brutal here for the late game. As ByuN is down to 33 SCVs. DTs, they go back in. And ByuN, this is going to be his final army. He just doesn't have the economy to sustain these losses. MaxPax does. MaxPax moving in. Storm zones away. And ByuN, he just cannot engage. Not anymore. Not into the sky, toss. Storm connects. Storm lands with the main army. ByuN is stepping in. His final engagement. Does tank the storms. Again, trying to get under those carriers. He only has 2 Vikings, so he has limited anti-air. One carrier goes down, but just the one. And again, that's kind of all that ByuN has. He's muling his heart out. Scans, sees more bases, sees saturation. And he's hanging on with those mules. So he's trading as efficiently as possible. Does split against the storms. Hey, takes down another base. Takes down another expansion. Meanwhile, everything else, I mean, we're flashing red. That's expansions, they're flashing red. ET's done zealots. They're harassing. ByuN does get a mineral line. True. It's a base. ByuN does have a pretty threatening main army, but MaxPax he can afford to trade. Yeah, zealots take it on some of the ghosts. 2, 3, 4, 5 ghosts going down. 6. Oh no, 7. Oh, the ghosts fall. GG gets called, and MaxPax he will take game number 1. GG. Ooh, GG, well played. MaxPax does take the first game of the series, does take a lead, and again does embrace ley lines. As we were mentioning, ley lines specifically is a map where if we do get to the late game, it can be very difficult as a Terran player to defend your bases. To defend the, the 3 bases in the center, they are so difficult to maintain, and we've seen many Terran players, including players like Clem, struggle to defend those bases. Struggle to defend. So with that, GG, well played. With that, MaxPax does take a lead, and we'll see where we end up coming into game 2. Where are we dropping? Where are we dropping? Game 2 is going to be on torches. Okay, so it looks like game 2 is torches, game 3 is Maganatha, game 4 Ultra Love, game 5 Persephone. No Tokamak. Tokamak got vetoed. Okay. Yeah, ByuN vetoed Tokamak makes sense. MaxPax vetoed Pylon also makes sense. So we've gotten rid of the more aggressive map, and we've gotten rid of the more defensive map as well. The two extremes. But here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And we'll see if ByuN can recover. I would favor ByuN coming to torches. Again, the smaller the map, the more aggressive ByuN can be, the more difficult it's going to be for the Protoss player to defend and to make it into that longer game state. So this is ByuN's big opportunity to recover, to bounce back in this series. Let's go. Let's go. Starduck. As we are loading into torches. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of torches, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he can make a series out of this. This is his time. This is his opportunity. It is a ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player. We have the Danish Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And welcome one more to Torches. Torches is a very aggressive map of the map pool. It's often vetoed. Often is vetoed in more standard best of 3s, but a best of 5, hey, we get more maps, we get less vetoes, we get to experience maps like Torches. When it comes to Torches, does have a shoulder rush distance by air, does have a shoulder rush distance by ground. We have gold bases all over the place. We have these mineral walls that we can break through as well as ByuN moves out for what looks to be an eBay block, but I believe MaxPax will scout. Oh, we'll confirm. Yeah, nice scout by MaxPax. He will deny the eBay. And MaxPax will be able to expand on location as he pulls the boys and will force a cancel. Again, if this was a later scout, then the eBay would have had more progression, would have had more health, more HP, and that would have made it more difficult for MaxPax to actually deal with this to expand, and would have been forced to expand at the third location instead. But this is a much better start for MaxPax. Shuts it down, and we'll take the natural. So good, nice moves out of MaxPax. Speaking of the third base, there is an area here that you can abuse in between the linear third base and the natural. This position can be brutal if tanks are able to siege up, if the Terran player can wedge themselves in between the bases. So we'll see how MaxPax expands. We'll see if he does go for the low ground base, the base on the right, or the base on the left. For now, we're settling into our tech of choice. It is not uncommon to see Stargate openers on torches just because of the short rush distance by air. It's a good way to try to hard counter Banshee play or early drops as well. But the meta has been shifting back and forth on that, and as I mentioned at the start of the series, I don't really think that MaxPax enjoys playing with Stargate too much. So we'll see. We shall see. As we have our tech, it is going to be a Twilight Council out of MaxPax. Then we get the stretch. Then we get the stretch. Just gearing up for the series. We will CC on the high ground from ByuN. Being safe. Likewise, does attempt to catch out the Adept and will be able to. Oh, getting shade away. Barely can. Adept does escape. Likewise, we're expecting like 2 or 3 gate blink stalker out of MaxPax. 4 gate blink can be very difficult to actually make work just because there's no way into the main. There's no way into the main base. You have to go through the natural instead. General scouting can be much more difficult on this map, which is why we can see ByuN has seen nothing so far. ByuN is in the dark. And that is a second Rax before starports. Okay, you have my attention. ByuN. We're going for a delayed starport. If we throw down a third Rax, we're expecting a third Rax here, then this will lead into a 2-base all-in. Or at least it does scream 2-base all-in. It's going to be quite dedicated. There we go, Tech Labs on the way for early stim. And we're still waiting for another Rax. Interesting. MaxPax going for the Robo on 2 bases. Warpism's on the way to harass. No shot we're turning this into a 2-1-1. Yeah, there it is. I was like, where's the third Rax? Third Rax now on the way. And again, it's going to be a 3-1 setup here before the starport. ByuN, he does like going for an eBay alongside this to go for +1, but this time, yeah, there it is. There's eBay, there's +1. And this should be lined up with stim, with combat shields, with the rest of the setup. So hyper aggression out of ByuN. And torches does favor this kind of style. So it all makes sense. It's all coming together. MaxPax claiming his third. I believe that was 2 gate. Yeah, sorry, 3. 3 gate blink into a third. Safer play out of MaxPax, making his way in towards the main. At least trying to. Again, the main base is looking much more vulnerable. And MaxPax, he can try to blink in. He's on hold position. It blinks away. MaxPax, he pulls out. That is 2 more Maxes. Yeah, 2-base all-in. So 2-base all-in out of ByuN. He is not going to be expanding alpha for this. He's not going to be macroing. He's going to double down with Mass Marine, with Stim, with nothing but Bio. Oh boy. And of course tanks as well. Now, typically this is with 3. We're getting up to 4, potentially 5 tanks. We spoke about this earlier, but this area here in between the third and natural is brutal if the tanks can siege up on this low ground. We'll see if ByuN can get there. Meanwhile, big scout he sees. MaxPax, he confirms. He confirms he sees both Raxes. That is a massive tell. Charge is on the way. Zealots are amassing, but here comes the move out. ByuN, he pulls the boys. Yeah, the boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing. The Raxes aren't even done, but because he got scattered, like, he has to go. He's on a timer. ByuN, he has to commit. Bearing in mind, because there are no medevacs, he has to hold on to those stims. He cannot waste them. Every stim will hurt his army. So he cannot waste that stim. As he has yet to do so. Prism getting caught out. Very nice. Prism goes down. Ay. Tanks are moving in. Force fields, they lock down some of the Marines, but the tanks, they all siege up within range of the pylons. And ByuN, he might just have too much here. MaxPax trying to catch reinforcements. No shield battery. The boys are being pulled into the tank line. And again, there are just so many tanks. And with that, ByuN, he has done it. He shuts down all the stalkers. Tanks, they focus on the Immortal. And ByuN breaks through. He breaks through. There's nothing left. There is no army. Welcome to Torches back. Zealots are forcing friendly fire. They're trying to. They're trying to force friendly fire. Here come the reinforcements. Here comes the rally. And with that, the base has been broken. GG gets called, and ByuN ties things up. We have a back and forth. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We have a tied up series. We're getting into game 3. Again, Torches is known for this more aggressive play. ByuN, he did go for the 2 base all in. MaxPax did scout it ahead of time, but we saw that as soon as ByuN got scattered, he pulled the boys. Typically you wait a little bit longer. To build up some more Marines, to build up your army, but no, alas, ByuN, he pulled the trigger then and there. He had to pull the trigger. It was a key moment as well that he was able to snipe that War Prism. That meant that there was no micro. There was no added micro potential from MaxPax. He couldn't reinforce behind the army either. And with that, GG. ByuN, once he got in between the bases, that was going to be game. And with that, we have that back and forth. Game 3, what map are we loading into here? Game 3 is going to be, Maganatha. So, funnily enough, similar with these vetoes and with the map order, coming into Game 3, coming into Maganatha, this is where I favor MaxPax more. Game 4 is going to be on Ultralove, so we're kind of going back and forth here. The reason why or at least I favor MaxPax coming to Maganatha, the map is very large. The map is very, very large. These aggressive builds are weaker on Maganatha, so MaxPax can have an easier time getting into the mid game. I say easier time, this isn't Tokamak. The bases are still very spread out. They're very spread out, and we saw ByuN excel against herO on Maganatha. It was still very intense and a very long game and a very stressful game. We'll see if ByuN can replicate that success. Otherwise, we're kind of leaning more towards MaxPax here, unless ByuN can get some early damage. Unless he can pop off early on. We'll see if he does. See if he does. As it looks like our players, they need a moment. Oh god. Sorry. Just trying to click on the chat. Here we go. But looks like our players need a moment, so we do have a small break here. Just a small one. They need some time after that game. Understandable. So we're getting into our next game. Here we go. Players are ready. Game 3 is going to be on Maganatha. Oh boy. And I feel like the pressure is going to be on ByuN here to kind of pull this off. To get one over on MaxPax's map. Oh boy. I want to see those EMPs again, Pat. True. I want to see them again. But here we go. We are going to be loading into Maganatha. Players are ready. Beeps are done. We're loading in. Also, un momento. Here we go. Okay, we are back and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran. Oh, representing Shopify, tying up the series 1-1. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. Representing Sidestorm Gaming, it is MaxPax. We go. Sorry, I was just checking on something. We'll be good. Alright, good to go. Este Mr. Medford. SMH. True. As we're settling into Maganatha here again, the largest map in the map pool, very large map. The bases are, I mean, they're plentiful, but they are spread out. The bases are spread out, so it can be difficult to maintain control of the map and defend your fringe bases. It is applicable to both players. So there's often a lot of chaos and a lot of aggression, a lot of fights occurring in a longer game, in the late game. But I don't know if ByuN wants to get there against MaxPax. I don't know if that's a plan. We'll see. For now, Economic Opener, CC on the low ground. MaxPax likewise going Gate Cyber Expands. Sorry, Gate Expand into Cyber Core. Calming down. After an intense game on Torches. As from here, we can try to take a choice. If this was another player, I would say, hey, Stargate play could be viable here on Maganatha. We've seen it from players like Classic, players like herO. But again, MaxPax isn't really one to play Stargate, and there it is, a Twilight Council opener out of MaxPax. I'll be honest, we're kind of expecting this every game. Every game with this series, we're expecting a Twilight Council into 3-gate Blink, into a Robo, into a third base. We're not really expecting much deviation here from MaxPax. On smaller maps, we could see MaxPax open up blindly into Charge. True, we could see that. We could also see him go 4-gate Blink Stalker as well. But I feel like that's like the most range we're going to be getting out of MaxPax, at least early on. We'll see if that proves to be the case. So now it does scouts. Does get across the map. Does get eyes on the 1-1-1. Again, there's no crazy like second racks or third racks or setup for a 2-base all-in like we saw last game. None of that here. Opening up with a Mind Drop. On the way. We have a Rover after the third, so MaxPax being quite greedy. Actually, he goes 2-gate Blink, yeah, 2-gate Blink Stalkers into a third base, into a Robo. So greedier build here by MaxPax. Meanwhile, ByuN going into Hyper Flight Rotors. Again, he's quite fond of this. We saw this plenty of times against herO. Now we're seeing it here against MaxPax as well. Once again, the reasoning for this is because trying to catch your opponent off guard with Cloak Banshees is less viable nowadays, just because of how safe Protoss players are being. So there's a higher chance that we'll have detection. So instead, why not just have more micro ability with your Banshees? Oh, Mind Shot's going off. Let's kill 2 probes and we'll escape with 1 Widow Mine. 1 mine gets away. as Medevac is going to get called out. Okay, nothing major yet. We see MaxPax getting his third base, working towards charge. From here, we can then get into our splash damage of choice. This time, it's going to be Storm. So Temple Archives into Storm. Going to be delaying Colossus until a little later in the game. So MaxPax is just building up. And likewise, ByuN is moving out. Okay, so ideally, he does want to distract with his main army and then go in with the Banshees. ByuN is claiming his third. And here comes a move out. I believe the Banshees, okay, they do meet up. So 2 Banshees towards the main army towards the third. And we'll see if ByuN can distract MaxPax. The main base is exposed. ByuN scans. Supports the army. Does have to be careful with those tanks. Has to take care. Lurking in, sieging up. So they'll see Banshees, they hit the natural. And they will one-shot workers. And 3 probes going down at the same time. We're forcing friendly fire, and MaxPax, he shuts down the main army, cleans up the tanks, cleans up the Marines. Oh, I said a very close fight in the end. ByuN barely saves the tank, just barely. Banshees, they don't get much done. And ByuN has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. He will lose the tank. He will lose everything. Yeah, this is not worth it. Remember, ByuN, his goal was just to distract, and the Banshees, they had to get damage done, and they didn't. They failed to get damage done. They killed 3 probes. ByuN's third CC is denied, forced to expand in the main base, and ByuN is contained on 2 bases. A brutal start for ByuN. And MaxPax, yeah, he can just go for the kill. There's no bunker, there's no tank, there's nothing here. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he will take a lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. ByuN, he was so dedicated to that aggression, to that move out. Unfortunately, he did overcommit, he overextended, he did not get damage done the way he was hoping to, and everything just fell apart. It all just fell apart then and there. ByuN had nothing back at home. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 4. Game 4 here. Now, we did mention that Magnatha was going to be more of MaxPax's map. Now, game 4 is going to be on Ultralove. This is going to be an interesting one. So, Ultralove is a smaller map, has a shorter rush distance by ground. We have seen a lot of all-ins succeed on Ultralove, so I do lean towards ByuN in that sense. But at the same time, Ultralove is a map of extremes. We see a lot of all-ins, or we see some hyper late game. If you can get up to a 4-base economy, you can cut the map in half, you can slow things down, and force the game to go longer and cut them, and again, just get into like a 5, 6, 7 base setup. So we'll see how aggressive ByuN can be. So we're getting ready here for Ultralove. Let's go. I wonder why MaxPax takes third base extremely fast, like this game, sometimes a lot later, like last game. If you recall, a big factor is the map. I was trying to emphasize that Torches is known for aggression and all-ins. Magnatha is the largest map in the map pool, longer rushes by ground. We're expecting longer games and we're expecting less aggression, so that kind of dictates when you can be greedy, when you cannot be. That's why MaxPax went for a 3-gate setup in Torches and why he went 2-gate on Magnatha. So you kind of like determine, or you kind of assume like how aggressive your opponent's going to be and what you can get away with. So maps, they just play a big factor when it comes to that sort of thing. When it comes to determining when you can try to be greedy, when you can't be. Of course, it's still a risk, it's still a gamble. Just because there's a lower chance that aggression is going to be happening on Magnatha doesn't mean that there's no chance. But you can try to cut corners. Yeah. For example, I do expect to see MaxPax go 3-gate here on Ultralove. Like no shot he rushed into a third. It'd be quite bold here on Ultralove. But we'll see, we'll see. And this morning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultralove, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify down in the series. Can he force the ace match? Can he bring it back and bring us to game 5? It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. Again, our eyes are going to be on ByuN here. Unfortunately, everything just fell apart in the last game when it came to his attempted harass, his attempted aggression. The Banshees didn't do enough, and MaxPax was all over that tank push. But we can go for something more dedicated here on Ultra Love. So show us what you got. We see MaxPax, he does scout, he does check for a proxy here on the right hand side before moving out across the map. And ByuN is going for an economic start to Rax expand. So faster CC here out of ByuN. Does go for the faster CC. And we'll see what the follow-up is going to be. Likewise, we could even see MaxPax be the aggressor instead. We were talking a lot about like 2-gate openers or 3-gate openers. 4-gate play is still viable here, and on Ultra Love we could see MaxPax try to be the aggressor instead. Like, aggression is favored on this map, and it goes both ways. So that also could be an option for MaxPax. Oh. Depending on what ByuN goes for. For now, MaxPax, he's aware of the faster CC. He knows. He could try to punish. As we have a reactor follow-up, not Tech Lab. So that means no early Marauder, no early Cyclone. Preserving that gas. So Reaper does move in. Again, we're about to see our tech of choice. MaxPax controls well, doesn't lose any probes. And, oh, ByuN going for a third CC before start, or before anything else. We saw this in Game 1, if you recall. We saw this same build on ley lines in Game 1 of this series, but ByuN took it a step further. He had a CC on location. Here it's a CC on the high ground, so very greedy build here by ByuN. A little bit safer compared to what we saw in ley lines, but greedy nonetheless. Oh boy. And if MaxPax gets across the map, if he sees this, he can respond with 2 more gates. He can respond with hyper aggression. I mean, he can go one of 2 ways. If he scouts this, he can respond with aggression, or he can respond with greed of his own and go for a faster third. Hallucination goes in, sees all 3 maxes, does confirm the CC. He knows. Yeah, he sees everything he needs to. And what's the plan? Do we expand? Do we throw down extra gateways? As MaxPax, he has a 2-gate setup. He's expanding. Yeah, so he responds with greed, so he's going for his own third. Basically, he confirms that ByuN is being greedy. ByuN is not going to be aggressive, so MaxPax, he can get away with keeping up with his faster Nexus. So 2-gate blink out of MaxPax. And MaxPax, he knows he's safe. He knows he's safe. He can chill. He can tech up. He can probe. He knows that ByuN can't really do much anytime soon. Now, when it comes to ByuN's build, it really kicks in when he lands his third base, when he saturates his third. Coming into the mid-game, he should have a larger army, assuming he can expand. The downside of ByuN being scouted here means that MaxPax, he knows that he can apply more pressure, and he knows that he can potentially delay the third. Delay from being landed, I mean. Now we have the gateway follow-up. Forge on the way. Gaining high ground vision. Punishing the lack of bunker. Oof. Bunker is cancelled. Meanwhile, big shout out to Magnamon in the chat. God, baby God. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for 8 months. Thank you. Do appreciate it. And we're just bullying this army, by the way. We're just bullying this army. That's still going to be how many Marine kills? That's going to be 9 Marines going down. 9 Marine kills. Aye. Punishing the fact that ByuN, he had no bunker. And of course, because of ByuN's 3 racks, there's no tank. Right? The build means that there are no tanks. That's also why I mentioned that MaxPax could have punished with 4-gate blink because of lack of factory production. Despite that, MaxPax is still punishing, still getting damage. He can blink into the main. Going for more SCVs. Stim is finishing up in 7 seconds. MaxPax, he will lose 1 Stalker. Still well worth it as he just completely punishes ByuN. That's why it's risky rushing into a 3rd CC like this. He got away with it on ley lines, didn't get away with it here. As that is 10 Marine kills, 7 SCVs, the Reaper. Denied mining, all for one stalker. Like the efficiency. The efficiency is crazy, man. It's crazy. And MaxPax is just getting comfortable, getting very comfortable. Charge on the way, +1, soon to be Storm. And ByuN has a lot of catching up to do. A lot of catching up to do here. The third base will help, but the third base is also why ByuN is behind. If it went unscouted, different story, right? Different story. So ByuN does land his third. Storm is on the way. Okay, ByuN has Stim, he can be active. He's hunting for those stalkers. He might even deny the fourth. And it looks like he will. Not bad. Does force a cancel. MaxPax out of position. Storm is not yet ready. Now picking up. Jumping into the main. MaxPax, he tries to react. Racing on over. ByuN, he gets into the mineral line. Not bad. Yeah, quick moves here out of ByuN. It gets 14, 16 probe kills at the same time. Zelda get into the third. Prism into the main west as well, going for the warp in. Both players taking losses. Oh, that's going to be 9 SCV kills. Losing up to 10. Zelda into the main base. Thankfully, there are reinforcements. Defensive Storm. And in the end, that's going to be 16 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. MaxPax, he deals an equivalent amount of damage across the map. 16 SCVs, denies the third. Both players taking a lot of losses. But MaxPax has Storm. And MaxPax, he can look to contain ByuN on 2 bases and just deny the third. Just take over this location, freeze him into the main. And High Templar have arrived. It's too early for Ghosts. I mean, Ghosts are just now popping out. And MaxPax is going in. He's going for the kill. He wants it. Oh, nice feedback. Yeah, solid feedback. Shuts down the Ghost. Now the Storm is coming in. Oof. Storm does land. Oh god, another Storm as well. And there's still 2 more Head Templar. There's still 2 more Storms left. Warp in should be denied. MaxPax overextending a little bit here, depending on the Storms. Yeah, there's 1 Storm remaining. Oh god, Jesus, does land. Storms have been brutal. And ByuN is still on 2 bases. MaxPax pulls away, throwing down his Bay, getting into Colossus. ByuN survives. He's holding. He's holding on. He's holding. He expands, getting his 3rd base. Thankfully, because of the faster orbital, he can make 3 SCVs at a time. So he's replenishing his workers. More Ghosts are building up. If he can land some EMPs, then he can take these fights. Those EMPs are crucial. As these are the only 4 Templar. I think a 5th one was just warped in. MaxPax does pre-split. So these zones away. Nice EMP. CMP, but more Storms are coming in. Zelda take it into the mineral line. 7 more SCV kills. Another Storm in the Bio Army. Ah, he stands in the Storms. As that is the final Storm. And Max actually done it. He's done it. He has broken through. The boys are being pulled into an Archon. Oh, the Archon goes down again. Archons that get picked up. And Once again, ByuN, he's barely holding on, losing 15 SCVs. He's surviving. That's MaxPax. He can just keep trading. Getting to Colossus. Hopefully he does notice the rally. Uh-oh. Okay, does notice. Oh. So the Prism gets shut down. Nice read out of ByuN. I'll shut him down. Now the scary thing here is that now it's no longer just about storms. Now we have Colossus as well. The Viking count is quite low. There are only two Vikings, and Viking production is not underway. So ByuN, he's unaware. The problem here is that he's just unaware of the tech switch, which MaxPax can afford because he has had the superior economy. So in that sense, MaxPax has gotten ahead, and with that lead, taked up into Colossus. Oh. ByuN is going to have a tough hold here. Now starts Viking production. Colossus, did you wander a little bit too close? Storm turning away. Another storm lands. Still another high tempo in the back line. Here is pushing in. Nice CMP, but there are no Vikings. Yeah, the Colossus, they just rain down from the sky. GG gets called. MaxPax will overwhelm, and MaxPax will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's PiGosaur Cup champion. GG. GG, well played, and MaxPax does claim it. Again, a cheeky build here by ByuN, winding it back. Remember, what did ByuN do? He went for a very fast third TC. He went for a third TC after the first Rax. Hyper greedy build out of ByuN, and he got scouted immediately. He got scouted, and what was MaxPax's response? To keep up with his greed by running into and rushing into a faster third base, and then applying as much pressure as he could, punishing the fact that because of ByuN's build, he had no tanks. He also was skipping his bunker. That was on ByuN. He also skipped his bunker on the low ground, so he was bleeding out 9 Marines. He lost 9 Marines, blinked into the main base, killed more SCVs, killed more Marines. MaxPax gained momentum really early on, punishing the greed of ByuN. Didn't kill him, didn't react with a 4-gate, didn't kill him, but did cripple him. Did cripple ByuN, and ByuN had a hard time actually getting to his third, and in the end, the third base set him behind. It was a really risky move, really greedy choice out of ByuN, but because it got scouted, it wasn't worth it. Wasn't worth it in the end. In the end, he was torn apart. GG, well played, and with that, congratulations to MaxPax as he is this week's champion. Congratulations. A shout out to ByuN because ByuN had some really insane games this tournament. I do highly recommend checking out ByuN vs herO. If you missed it, ByuN vs herO was a banger. It was insane. So I highly recommend the VODs for that series. MaxPax vs ByuN was a little bit more one-sided, or a little bit more clear-cut. But herO vs ByuN was crazy. It was crazy. GG, well played. GG, well played. With that, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. And with that, remember, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week there is the PiGosaur Cup. At this time, at this hour, on this day, every week we have PiGosaur Cup. We did miss casting it last week just because we were otherwise preoccupied, but we should be here on a regular basis, hopefully. Meanwhile, when it comes to our schedule, bam, you can see here, we just wrapped up with our Wednesday morning cast, and we have a Lily Cup this evening. That's going to be at 8 p.m. KST, 9 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live once again with another cast with Lily Cup. So non-stop StarCraft here on the CranKy Ducklings. You can see that tomorrow we're live with almost at StarCraft, yeah, with StarCraft Evolution. We're going to be live with the StarCraft Evolution Championship tomorrow morning. We have the Pondcast tomorrow evening. We have Maestros of the Game over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days straight of Maestros of the Game. That's going to be a lot of content. We have OSC mid-season playoffs on Friday and SDO on Saturday. Again, we are live twice a day, every single day for the most part. We cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there, and it's a really busy week this week, a really intense week. I'm hoping that the rest of September is a little bit lighter, but at the same time, RSL is next week. Like, the Revival StarCraft League is going to be starting up, and we're most likely going to be covering some of that as well, so that's going to be quite a lot to get into. Fun fact, the RSL group stage is also this week. It's also running this week as well, so There's a lot of content, a lot of StarCrafts. Likewise, on the horizon, we have the Stellarfest qualifiers. We have SE2 Safe House as well. So as always, non-stop StarCraft, Happy. Non-stop StarCraft. Oh, aye. But I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time, and we'll see you either tomorrow for StarCraft Evolution League, or we'll see you in 8 hours for the Little League Cup. We'll see you. We'll see you then. See you next time. Otherwise, thanks for watching. My camera's frozen. Oh. That's not good. It's fine, Bobby. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll just be the ether for now. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it, and we'll see you guys later on tonight or tomorrow. We'll see you when we see you, because we're live every day, so I'm sure we'll tune in. You'll tune in at some point. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll see who is live. Who can we send everyone over to? Let's see. Let's find out. Let us find out. I know Enki is live, but I think Enki is about to wrap up. Este Enki. Oh, Nyoja, he might be doing a ladder game. I think Steadfast is doing a ladder game. We'll find someone. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to check out our VODs, you can do so via YouTube. Exclamation mark. YouTube in the chat or socials. We'll get the link to our YouTube channel. Again, we do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. There's plenty of content on YouTube. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.